live streamed. That means you've just gotten that advisement as well. As I may have not previously said, this particular calendar is for those individuals who have been previously arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. Those who receive a signature bond today will be reset for the notice to a division judge. Those who receive a cash or a surety bond will be reset to the state all-purpose calendar on June the 21st of 2022. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney at this particular proceeding. Who do I have first at courtroom 2?
Good afternoon, Judge. This is going to be position 9, Mr. Potter.
Okay. All right, Mr. Potter, your case number is 22 CR 003598J, in which you're charged with criminal trespass and disorderly conduct with the offense date of June the 7th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Howard, are you with us today? Or who do I have from pretrial?
It's me. Who are you on?
Position 9, can I have that history, please?
Carter.
Yes.
I think he got about 20 between Louisiana and Tennessee.
Okay.
Last arrest was October 2021 for trespass. I think that's open in state court. He had a March 2021 simple assault felony obstruction arrest. September 2021 failure to appear for obstruction and simple assault. Last arrest in Tennessee was 2019 for aggressive panhandling. April 2019 trespass. 2018 disorderly conduct, public intoxication, indecent exposure. 2018 trespass, resisting arrest. He had a lot of trespass.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Whose case is this for the state?
It's mine, Your Honor, ASG Salary.
All right, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place at the Chevron gas station that's located at 111 Boulevard Northeast in Atlanta. Officers responded regarding a criminal trespass. They met with the owner, whose name is spelled Mridha, last name Dulu, Dulu. He stated that the defendant had been standing outside of the location, making threats and harassing customers. The owner asked the defendant to leave multiple times, but he refused. He was also drinking a beer and being belligerent. Your Honor, as we've heard from pretrial, this defendant, he actually has a criminal trespass from the same incident location. He took a plea on December 21st of last year, where he was issued a stay away and the balance was suspended. So he is still currently on that non-reporting probation, and he has violated that condition, and he's sitting before you today. He also has a 2021 FTA and 2021 obstruction guilty conviction. The state's recommendation is a $4,000 surety bond. That's $2,000 on each charge, with conditions of staying away from the incident location, no contact with Mr. Dulu, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Potter is 35.
One second, Ms. Kidd. I'm sorry, I'm writing slowly today. Give me one moment. Thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm to get us moving, but give me 1 second, Ms. Kim.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, now, Ms. Kim, I'm ready for you. Good to see you. Let's go.
Yes. Mr. Potter is 35 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for 1 year. He has his aunt who he can call, and he has a stable mailing address now. He does not have a job. and yet he still has 2 years of associate degree for computer technical and electrical engineering. We would like to request for a signature on bond, and yet due to the past history, if your honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request for $500 total surety bond, $250 each. Your honor, thank you.
All right, thank you. At this time, Mr. Potter is going to receive a split bond. He's going to receive a $2,000 signature bond for the criminal trespass and a $500 surety bond for the disorderly conduct, for a total of a $2,500 bond. He must stay away from the address on Boulevard, I think it was 111 Boulevard Northeast, and have no contact with the victim, last name Dulu. And he must also have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond, of that split bond. Are there any questions regarding that ruling at this time?
No, your honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Potter. We can move to the next position.
Hey, ma'am, if I can't afford it, is there a chance that I can come back for drop
Mr.
back?
Potter,
If you-
please call me.
if you-
I'll explain.
Yes, you can speak with Ms. Kim, but your case is also being reset to the SAP calendar on the 21st. If you haven't made bond at that time, your case will be revisited, all right? And the judge will you appear will consider other factors at that point, okay?
Yes, ma'am, because I was just getting off the bus.
Don't say too much, Mr. Potter. I don't want you to interfere with your constitutional rights, okay?
I haven't seen over there. Next, we have
Thank you.
Mr. Swift, position 12. I haven't seen him in the second row, Potter.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, position 10 is going to be a null pros. So I'm working on that paperwork.
Okay.
And make sure you send that paperwork, Mrs. Raleigh, to Melissa Grace,
Okay.
please.
All right, so we have position 12, Mr. Dwayne Swift before me. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Swift, your case is 22 CR 003602G, in which you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the third, with the offense date of May the 7th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
This third, last was 2014 suspended license, marijuana possession. They were NOD. And 2013 suspended license out of Florida. That's it.
Okay. Is this your case as well, Ms. Salary?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right, you may proceed.
Your Honor, in this case, officers responded to the incident location regarding a physical dispute. Upon arrival, they met with one of the victims, whose name is Taylor Griffin. And she stated that the defendant, she's the mother of at least 2 of his children. She stated that the defendant came to her home to pick up 3 of the children, and he was upset with the victim because she took away a cell phone belonging to one of the children as a punishment, as a form of punishment. The defendant then went into the victim's bedroom. He attempted to get the phone back, and during this time, he punched the victim in her eye. A fight ensued, which led to their bed frame actually breaking, and 2 of the children, whose initials are GG and TS, they actually came into the room and they told the defendant to stop and leave. So the defendant, he left out of the bedroom. He grabbed a bottle of fabric softener and he threw it all over the kitchen area. Then he proceeded to push the victim into a wall that had a mirror attached to it, and it caused the mirror to fall and break. The state's recommendation in this case is a $6,000 surety bond. That's $3,000 on the battery family violence and $1,000 on all remaining charges. Third-party transfer of any minor children, 1-day anger awareness, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and a stay away from the incident location. And that is at 1371 Kimberly Way in Atlanta. Nothing further.
Okay. Thank you. Before I go to Ms. Kim, I am going to sound for Is it Miss Griffin or is it Miss Taylor? I'm sorry. It was Miss. What was the name again, Miss Soury?
Taylor Griffin.
Taylor Griffin. I'm sounding for Miss Griffin. If you are present on this Zoom conference and wish to be heard at this time, this is your opportunity to speak, although you are not required to make any statement. All right. Hearing none, Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Swift is 30 years old and pretrial recommendation is unsecured judicial relief, and we would like to recommend for a signature on bond as well. They do not live together. Miss Taylor Griffin and Mr. Swift live separately, and he has been here in Georgia for the last 30 years, all his life. He has, of course, 2 children with Miss Taylor, and they're not married. And he has his brother and parents here in Georgia. He's not a flight risk. Indeed, he has a daycare academy school as a director. He also started his youth mentor program, and he has an education background in the college. And also this happened almost a month ago, Your Honor. There has been enough cooling period, and my client denies the allegation. We would like to request for a signature on bond for this. Thank you.
All right, at this time, Mr. Swift is going to receive the $6,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to have no contact with Taylor Griffin or any of the minor children at this time. Are those, let me clarify this, are those his children? Those
Your
are
Honor,
his children?
he does have 2 children with the victim. However, I do want to point out that the victim had we spoke to her and she told our office that this is not the first violent incident, that he has a history of violence with her. So I do want to make the court aware of that as well.
Okay, but my question was about the children. He has children. Gigi and TS are alleged to be his children.
No, those are her children, but the victim and the defendant do have
children together.
Right.
Okay. All right. That was the point that I was wishing to clarify. He will take the 1-day anger awareness course to arrange transport of his own children with Ms. Griffin. He must contact a third party. He cannot contact her directly at all. He is to stay away from the incident location, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
But this was position number 12. What's the breakdown?
It's the breakdown as recommended by the state. It will be the 3,000 on the battery family violence. I'm sorry, it was 3,000. It was 4,000, I believe, as recommended on battery, and then 1,000 for each additional charge.
3,000 on the battery family violence.
3,000 and 1,000 on the remaining. I apologize. Yes.
So the total,
Total signature bond will be 6,000. He should have 4 charges. So it'll be 3,000 for battery, 1,000 for each count of cruelty, and 1,000 for the criminal trespass. And each of those will be signature through pretrial services. All right, who do we have next? Best of luck to you, sir.
Position 11, Stephens.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Stephens. How are you? Your case is 22 CR 003600E, in which you're charged with battery with the offense date of January the 9th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard?
All right, Stevens, a total of 10 arrests. I got history out of Nevada, Tennessee, Colorado. 2018 Nevada arrest, possession of a Schedule 3, 4, or 5 controlled substance. 2017 out of Alabama, misdemeanor possession of marijuana, narcotic equipment. 2015 out of Denver for theft and assault. Those were dismissed. Tennessee, I got 2012 public intoxication, 2013 possession of drug paraphernalia, that was dismissed. He had a 2016 robbery, ag assault, kidnapping. The ag assault, kidnapping, and robbery was dismissed for lack of prosecution.
That was
2016,
2016, you said?
yes.
Okay, keep going, I'm sorry.
2016 possession of a controlled substance with intent, unlawful possession of a weapon. I don't have a disposition for those. 2017 failure to appear, but it was dismissed. Yeah, that's all. I think this is first Georgia arrest, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Soury?
Yes, Your Honor. And just to clarify, he does have a 2017 driving while license suspended, guilty conviction out of Georgia. This incident took place at 4355 Cascade Road in Atlanta. Officers responded to this incident location regarding a fight. The victim in this case, her name is Deidre, that's Deedra, last name Tidwell. She informed officers that she was asleep in the defendant's bedroom. When he came home, he woke her up and he started a fight for no reason. The defendant struck the victim in her mouth and her cheek, and the officers that arrived, they did observe dried up blood and her cheek being swollen. During the fight, the victim was able to fight off the defendant and she called the police. When the defendant heard her calling the cops, he fled the scene, and this entire incident was captured. The exchange was captured on body cam with the officers. As we've heard from pretrial, the defendant does have multiple arrests for violent offenses, an assault, an ag assault. He does have a 2017 FTA, and he has arrests out of about 5 or 6 different states. So he is a multi-state offender, and he presents a risk of reoffending. The state's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim, 1-day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. The state is not asking for a stay away, as the report does indicate this is the defendant's home. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. And the last name of the victim was Tidwell. Did I get that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna sound for Ms. Tidwell at this time. Ms. Tidwell, if you are present on this Zoom conference and wish to be heard, this is your opportunity to do so. All right, hearing none, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Stephen is, he has been here in Georgia for the last 2 years, and he does not have any children. However, his relationship with Miss Deidra is the one that kind of brought him here with his grandfather, who recently passed away. He's taking care of his grandmother, and he has uncle and relatives here in Georgia, so he's not a flight risk. He has a job as a salesperson at UDI. It's some kind of like a water sprinkling system that he sells. He's been doing that for the last 6 months. He has a political science degree from the college, and we would like to request for a signature on bond on this particular incident, because this is the first time here ever happened here in Georgia. And if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of his multi-state offense, we would like to request for maximum $1,000 surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, at this time, the defendant will receive a $2,000 surety bond. He is to have no contact with the alleged victim, last name Tidwell, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this surety bond. Is there anything further from either party?
Nothing further from the state.
Nothing further from defense as well. Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
That was to the jail or to pretrial?
No, that's a surety bond.
Oh, I'm sorry. $2,000 surety bond, okay. Position 8, Miller.
All right. All right, Mr. Miller, your case number is 22 CR 003604F, in which you're charged with 1 count of fair evasion, 1 count of criminal trespass, and 1 count of possession and use of drug-related objects. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
I do.
All right, Mr. Howard,
20 total. Last arrest was back in May for trespass and obstruction and reckless conduct. He's on probation in state court for trespass and fair evasion. What else? Also, another giving false name and fair evasion. I counted about 6 FTAs in his history. Also has history out of Kansas. That's where most of the FTAs come from. He
okay,
has a November 2021 Kansas City arrest for criminal damage to property. That's it.
okay, thank you. Mrs. Segura, all right, your case?
Good afternoon. This
Good
case occurred
afternoon.
yesterday, June the 7th, 2022, at Malta, located at 435 West Peachtree Street, Atlanta. In this incident, officers observed the defendant walking through an open tailgate while attempting to pay the required amount. And once police made contact with the defendant, they found out that he had active suspension, which will end on June the 27th, 2022. Alongside, once he was searched, they found a burnt glass pipe, which they suspected was used for crack. As such, the state is recommending.
By Marta Police Department, but
I don't want you to
Sure,
say
ma'am.
anything, Mr. Miller,
Listen,
that
listen,
might be used against you, all right?
I'm listening.
Continue, Mrs. Segura.
As such, the state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, $1,000 for each count, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay away from all molestations. The state is really concerned because their concerns that he has a risk of reoffending, as based on pre-trial, he does have multiple criminal trespass convictions. In this case, he actually has several relating to Malta. Back in February, in 22 CR 00709F, does a criminal trespass and violation conviction from this exact same Malta, and one is plea conditions was to have a stay away. Alongside in April the 10th, 2002, the exact same violation and criminal trespass, which is 22 CR 20002160F, which alongside the exact same Malta that was in that case and this case, which also had a condition of a stay away. Alongside, based on his pattern, he also has another conviction from April 28th, when this time was different Malta, but still a Malta, which is 22 CR 002597F, and one from last month on the 12th, which was criminal trespass and obstruction, which is 22 CR 002901F, which in this case had a plea of staying away from all molestations. Because of that, we know there's a big risk of reoffending, and we want to have a surety bond and stay away from all molestations in general. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Segura. Before I go to you, Ms. Kim, is everything all right in courtroom 2? Was everything okay? All right, I think so. All right, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Miller is 35 years old. He moved about 3 months ago, and he has his grandma here in Georgia. He does not have a job right now. He's been looking for a job, and he wanted to have a new start here in Georgia with his grandma, and things are not working out well. His highest level of education is 12th grade, and at this time, we are going to ask social worker services to provide some housing resources for him, so that way he can get some new start. We would like to request for signature on bond, and yet if Your Honor is not inclined because of past history, we would like to ask for the lowest possible surety bond because of his current unemployment, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. Again, are we all right in courtroom 2?
Yes, we're good, Judge.
She had it on mute.
All right,
We know.
all right, is it?
I can do that. But you can't touch that.
The judge was just asking a question, that's all.
All right, I'm making sure everyone feels safe in courtroom 2. All right, at this time, Mr. Miller is going to receive a split bond. It is going to be a $3,000 total bond. It'll be $1,000 signature on the fair evasion and on the possession, and $1,000 surety on the criminal trespass. He is to not return to MARTA in light of that act, and for as long as that active suspension is in place, and as a condition of this bond. And he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Is there any thing further from either party or anything that I've not addressed?
It's a signature bond from jail, Your Honor, right?
Yes, through the jail,
Thank you, Your Honor.
but the criminal trespass is a surety bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And
All
how
right.
much,
It's a total bond of 3,000. It's 1,000 for fair evasion. It's 1,000 for each charge, but the criminal trespass is the only bond that is a surety bond. The others are signature bonds to the jail. All right.
you good, we're done with you. Position 7, Mr. McGee.
All right. All right, good afternoon, Mr. McGee. Your case number is 22 CR 003597C, in which you're charged with battery with the offense date of June the 7th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional right?
Yes, I do.
All right. Mr. Howard?
16 total. Last arrest was 2015. It was a parole violation. Original charge was cocaine distribution. 2015 interference with government property, obstruction, probation violation. Those the interference and obstruction was dismissed. But he had another 2015 arrest for obstruction. That was a conviction. Sale of marijuana, giving false name conviction. That was from 2009. He don't have any violence that I saw. Within the last 10 years, anyway. Yeah, I don't think he have any violence.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Sowry?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred at the Chevron at 2020 Bolton Road in Atlanta. Officers responded to a call regarding a man beating a woman in front of the incident location. That woman actually turned out to be a 15-year-old child, and her initials are JB, as in boy. The officers responded and they spoke with the victim, who stated that this incident all occurred once she was picked up by the defendant. The defendant and the victim's mother were in a long-term relationship in the past. And the victim stated that when she was picked up by the defendant from camp, she put her feet on the dashboard and she was yelled at by the defendant. The victim then responded to the defendant that she did not appreciate him yelling at her that way. So the defendant got upset. He took her phone, and this is when a physical altercation ensued, where the victim sustained injuries to her lip, her cheek, and her neck. The victim's mother, she arrived on scene. Her name is Donna, that's Donna, last name Neal. And she informed officers that she did, in fact, want to press charges. She specifically stated to the officers that the defendant did not have the right to put his hands on this 15-year-old child. She stated that if there was anything or any issues that occurred that day, that she could have been called to handle the situation. Although we have not heard of any violence in this defendant's history, when we spoke with the victim's mother, she did in fact inform us that she was in an abusive relationship with him. And that was pretty much why the relationship ended. And she did not want contact with the defendant and did not want the victim to have any contact. They expressed fear of the defendant. And as we've heard from pretrial, this defendant does have multiple probation violations and parole violations. So he does present a risk of reoffending and flight risk. The state's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond no contact with the victim, her initials JB, her mother, that's Donna Neal, a one-day anger awareness course, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim, I'm gonna sound for the mother at this time. What was the mother's last name again? Meal?
Neal.
Is Ms. Meal present on the Zoom conference? All right, I don't see that Ms. Meal is present. So we'll go straight to Ms. Kim. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Mr. McGee is 40 years old, and of course, they do not live together, separately living, and they are separated. Their relationship is over. Mr. McGee has his own 3 children. One of them is very newborn, who is at home right now waiting for him. He has stable employment ever since 2017. He has a GED, and he's the one who called 911 because of too much drama that his stepdaughter was acting out when he was picking up from the camp. There were other kids who can testify and who were in the car as a witness. He did not lay his hands on her. The cuts are from another place. It's not from him. And I believe that he is qualified for unsecured judicial relief as pretrial services recommended. We would like to request for signature on bond, and he has a different relationships. He has a different family with a newborn, so I think there is a kind of tension between him and stepdaughter's mother. So, but anyway, we would like to request for a signature on bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, at this time, Mr. McGee is going to receive a $2,500 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim in this case, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, and alcohol as a condition of this bond. I'm going to issue a stay away. I'm not sure if the state did request the stay away, but I'm going to issue one at this time from that Bolton Road location, and that can be revisited at a later date.
And Your Honor, could you also impose a no contact with the victim's mother as well, Ms. Neal?
I'm not going to do that at this time. I'm going to just say no contact with the victim. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're done. Position 6, Lee.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Lee.
Good afternoon.
Your case number is 22 CR 003596E, and once you're charged with 1 count of theft by taking with the offense date of June the 7th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
7 total. Last arrest was back in October. Criminal trespass, damage to property. 2020 felony theft by receiving, misdemeanor shoplifting out of Americas. So this is actually his 3rd adult arrest. The first 4 are juvie. He's already out on pretrial on $4,000 bond, so it's gonna be 4,000 on top of whatever you do.
On top of that, all
He
right.
got those open cases too. So that's it.
I'm sorry, say the last part again, Mr. Howard.
He's out on pretrial, and he got the open cases as well. So
I understand. Thank you. All right, Mrs. Segura.
This occurred on June the 7th, 2022 at UPS located at 270 Malvern Mellow Drive, Southwest Atlanta. And this incident took place when officers responded to a theft call at the UPS. At that point, police met with a corporate security employee who said that they noticed that the defendant was acting suspiciously before he entered the security checkpoint to be screened, and this location where the defendant works. At the time when he was found at the security checkpoint, the defendant was found with an Apple iPhone hidden inside his glove. When security talked to him, he admitted taking multiple cell phones out of packages and hiding them before leaving that location. And police were able to find other phones hidden in the men's bathroom. At that point, the defendant admitted to taking cell phones while working inside the container as a package handler. And police and other people also able to find multiple torn open packages at the location that the defendant was assigned to load and unload. And outside, the defendant somehow also denied whereabouts with other cell phones despite police finding them. Because of this, the state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay away from the UPS at the 270 Marvin Miller Drive, Southwest Atlanta location. Convictions are based on his facts, as well as because, as Petrarch noted, he does have an open case, which is criminal trespass and damage to property. And it's also based on his record, especially his adult one. We do have concerns about activities he could reoffend or commit some danger to the community once he is released. Thank you.
All right. All right. Mr. Lee, I don't want you to say something that may interfere with Ms. Kim's ability to represent you, okay? Ms.
Okay.
Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Lee is 19 years old, and he says he feels like he's the one who's scammed and framed to be the defendant when he is a victim of some kind of, he was purchasing the iPhone from Mr. Miller, who now turned around and accused him as someone who took the iPhone as a stolen material. But anyway, he has been here in Georgia for 19 years. He has one child, and new baby is coming up. So his second baby is coming up this August 2022. So he has been working really hard at UPS warehouse for about last whole month, but now he is demanded to either resign or be fired. So he had to resign from his position because of this arrest. And his highest level of education is 11th grade, and he is trying to pursue GED at online class to complete his GED. We would like to request for signature on bond since he is presumed to be innocent, and also financially he is getting very challenged as he's becoming a young father of 2 children without any job at this point. So if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature bond, please give him the lowest possible surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Sear, was that you requested a stay away location? I didn't catch the end of it. What was it again?
270 Marvin Miller Drive, Southwest Atlanta.
Okay. All right. At this time, Mr. Lee is going to receive a $2,000 surety bond, and he must stay away from the address on Marvin Manor Drive. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Lee, if you have any questions, please give me a call. Thank you.
All right. That will conclude your case at this time. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position 5, Hudson.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Hudson. Your case number is 22 CR 003595A. Once you're charged with pedestrian in a roadway, soliciting rides or business, and driving on the wrong side of the road with the offense date of May the 12th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Howard?
4 total. Last arrest was March 2021. Carrying a weapon without a valid license. That's an open case in state court for that's open in state court. 21 CR 001 545A. Also have an open case in state court for pedestrian darting out in traffic, pedestrian in the roadway, pedestrian soliciting rides. 22 CR 001094A. Got a disorderly conduct he pled NOLO to in 2019. 2019 obstruction, arrest. I don't see a disposition for it. That's all.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Segura.
This occurred on May the 12th, 2022, at the intersection of Lenox Road and Peachtree Road, Northeast Atlanta. In this incident, officers were patrolling the incident location when they saw the defendant in the middle of the road. They noticed that he was soliciting business from a motorist who was stopped there by a red light, which was on the intersection. And they noticed that he was told multiple times before that he could not do that. But when police made contact with the defendant, he fled on a motorized scooter going the wrong way southbound on Peachtree Road Northeast onto incoming traffic. Because of this, the state is recommending a $2,000 surety bond, $500 for the pedestrian in the roadway, $500 for pedestrian soliciting rights or business, and $1,000 for driving on the wrong side of the road. And we're also asking for the conditions of no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay away from the intersection of Lenox Road and Peachtree Road Northeast. Allegations are based on these facts, so it's because we know he has an open case. And also, we're also concerned that it could reoffend, as speech writers noted, he did commit similar crimes before. And also, and we just have simply concerns that since he was on a motorized scooter going the wrong way, he could have made a bigger damage. Thank you.
All right. All right, Ms. Gant.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mr. Eric Hudson is 21 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He is the proud father. Well, he is expecting his first child. He also has family in the area, therefore he is not a flight risk. Your Honor, Mr. Hudson completed the 11th grade. He is now working on his GED. He has been unemployed for the last 5 months, and he informs me that he has a job interview tomorrow for Defenders Program to regain employment. He denies the allegations, and Your Honor, I acknowledge my client's history. However, he is presumed innocent in any open cases as well as this case. He does not have the ability to pay much, if anything, toward bond due to his unemployment, and he also doesn't have any family to assist him. I am requesting a signature bond, and if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000 total. That would be $333 for the pedestrian roadway, $330 for the pedestrian soliciting rides, and $334 for driving on the wrong side of the road. And again, we are unopposed to the stay away. Thank you, Your Honor.
I appreciate, Ms. Gant, your effort to assist me with math. I think I like that. All right. You know, that's not my strong point. All right. At this time, Mr. Hudson's going to receive $1,000 surety bond, broken down as follows. It'll be $250 for the pedestrian in the roadway, $250 for the solicitation of the rides, and $500 for driving on the wrong side of the road, for a total of a $1,000 surety bond. He is to stay away from the address on Lenox Road and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of that surety bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position 4, Echols.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Eccles. Your case is 22 CR 003601C, on which you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of April the 11th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
23 total. Last was 2016 probation violation. Underlying charge was possession of a firearm by convicted felon. Before that was 2011. He had some FTAs for theft by receiving, possession by a convicted felon, possession during the commission of a crime, and VGCSA. Those were not prosecuted. What else? 2008 FTA for possession of cocaine. I think the last violent charge I saw was like 2003, ag assault conviction. Yeah.
Okay, not in the last 10 years, though.
No, it was.
All right.
Yeah, nothing in the last 10 as far as violence.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Mr. Segura.
This occurred on April the 18th to April the 19th, 2022 at the incident location of 3500 Lenox Road, Atlanta. In this instance, the defendant got into a verbal argument with Ms. Jasmine Eccles, his wife, Jasmine, common spelling, Eccles, Ecchols, in which the argument was about car keys, in which he took it and returned to and refused to give them back to her. At that point, the argument escalated, in which the defendant punched her in the mouth, which ended up causing an laceration on Ms. Eccles' lip. And when later on, when investigator called her, she confirmed as much. Because of this, we're asking for a $5,000 surety bond, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, a stay away from Ms. Jasmine Eccles' home, which is 3414 Saddle Creek Lane, Ellenwood, Georgia. No further contact with Jasmine Eccles on the basis of these facts. So a special concern because Ms. Eccles is his wife and they do live together, and we called it before they two have 3 children. So we're concerned about their safety as they show some violence over some car keys. And we, based on contacted beforehand, she said she does not fear the defendant, and she tried to minimize it. But I think it should be expected that in these type of relationships, especially a wife, you should expect some minimization. But because of this, we also are most concerned about her safety. And even though his last violent criminal convictions were more than a decade ago, in 2003, he had aggravated assault, which was a guilty plea. We do show this as a pattern of violence. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to sound for Ms. Eccles. If Ms. Eccles is present on the Zoom conference and would like to be heard, this is your opportunity to do so. Ms. Eccles, if you would like to make a statement, if you're here. All right, hearing none, we'll go to Ms. Kim.
I believe that number is his wife's number, 678-628-8094. I think she is here.
She'll have to join the Zoom conference
okay.
as a video. Ms. Eccles, if you do hear me, if you're present and you're listening, you'll have to join such that we can see and hear you.
Okay, Your Honor.
And Mr. Howard, before you go, Ms. Kim, Mr. Howard, will you please put that onto the record?
But what on the record?
That he was recommended.
He was recommended.
Thank you.
Actually, he is recommended, so we would like to request for a signature on bond. He is 37 years old, and they do not live together at this point. They are separated. However, she is not afraid of him at all. They have 8 children together, and he has been working really hard as he has a trucking business to take care of 8 children, and also recently his father is going through chemotherapy, bone marrow, and he also has had COVID-19 pneumonia, and so a lot of medical issues has been going on with his father that he has to take care of him as well. So he does not have any extra financial means to cover for the bond. We would like to request for a signature on bond so he can be a responsible father and a son for his family members. That's it, Your Honor, sir.
But last time, I'm going to sound one more time for Ms. Eccles to see if she would like to make a statement. All right, hearing none at this time. Oh, I see iPhone has the hand up. Ms. Eccles, if you want to make a statement, you have to turn on the camera and unmute the screen. Very quickly, Ms. Eccles. Okay, I see the iPhone dropped off. Okay, at this
Yeah,
time,
it's
Mr.
like the iPhone is trying to come back on.
Okay. All right, Miss Eccles, are you Miss Eccles? We can't hear you. You need
She
to join
doesn't
the
have her
audio.
audio.
I know, I understand that. You have to join the audio of the conference and you'll have to be sworn in before you start speaking, Miss Eccles. Would you like to make a statement at this time? Okay, and you need to connect to the audio. There should be a button that looks like a microphone that you need to press that will ask, or a prompt that says, please connect to the audio portion of the conference. All right, now you need to unmute. Now that you've connected to the conference, you've connected to the audio, you'll need to unmute and turn on the camera. Yes, the camera's on now, unmute. We cannot hear you. You have to click the little microphone. You're gonna have to click the microphone button and unmute. Ms. Eccles, if you're not able to get this in a few moments, we may have to come back to you. We do need to move this along, all right? You're gonna have to press the microphone button. If you're looking at it on your phone, there is a button at the bottom. If you're on an iPhone or other phone, in the bottom left corner, there's a button that looks like a little microphone. If you press that, it should allow you to unmute. All right, at this time, we're probably gonna have to move forward. Mr. Eccles is gonna receive a $2,500 surety bond. He is to have no further, until I hear from the victim, he's to have no further contact with Miss Eccles. He can arrange transport of the children through a third party. He is to, was there a stay away requested by the state, Mr. Segura?
There was from a home address.
Okay, so he is to stay away from the address on on Saddle Creek Lane, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. We may revisit the no contact provision if Miss Eccles is able to join the Zoom conference, but the surety bond of $2,500 will remain. All right, best of luck to you, sir. Let's please move to the next position.
Position $3.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Dollar. Your case number is 22 CR 003594F, in which you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence and 1 count of criminal trespass family violence. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, Your Honor. Good
All
afternoon.
right, good afternoon. All right, Mr. Howard.
Judge, who is this?
Now, position 3, Mr. Philemon Dollar.
12 total. Last arrest was on the 4th of this month for fleeing, eluding an officer. He has an open case in the cab for battery, DV, ag assault, trespass, ag assault, DV. Open case in Fulton for the fleeing an officer I just told you about. 2022 Henry County failure to appear. That was back in January. 2017. 2017 FTA.
1 second, Ms. Eccles. We've had to move on. You just have to hold 1 moment. All right, Mr. Howard, please continue.
Yeah, the 2017 FTA, 2014 FTA. 2012 possession of a weapon without a license, second and subsequent offense within 5 years of previous arrest. The first one had came in 2010. That's it.
Okay. Ms. Echols, if you are still here, I'll hear from you at this time. What would you like
Yes.
to tell the court?
Yes, hey, how you doing? I do apologize for earlier, but some of the things that they were saying, I do not feel Mr. Echols. We had a misunderstanding that night. And far as visitation and everything, we have been around each other since then, still come around each other. We still like move according to each other. We've been married for 12 years now, and it's nothing like I don't have any fear like towards him. So I don't understand why they were stating for as him don't have no rights around the kids or me. And I'm really to the point, I just wanted to drop the charges if I can.
All right, thank you, Ms. Echols. In light of the information before me, the surety bond will stand, but I will modify the order such that there's no further violent contact, and we will remove the stay away. All right? Thank you, Ms. Echols. Best
All
of
right,
luck for
thank
you
you.
and the defendant. Have a good afternoon, okay?
You do the same.
All right, we'll go
Thanks.
back to Mr. Dollar. Mrs. Segura, is this your case as well?
It is. Yes.
All right, Mrs. Segura.
This occurred on April the 28th, 2022 at the instant location of 3027 Cordier Drive, Northwest Atlanta. In this instance, officers responded to a domestic dispute call at the instant location. They met with a Miss Jennifer Mitchell, common spelling, who said that her living boyfriend and father of her child, the defendant, had assaulted her and damaged her property. She said for the past week they broke up, and she's also told the police that the defendant has violent tendencies and has a history of damaging property. On that day of the incident, the day before this incident, she said she was in the process of getting a temporary restraining order. And once she told the defendant this, he got angry. He took her car keys and then threw them at her face. Alongside, afterwards, he damaged the door, went outside, jumped on the hood of her vehicle, and punched the windshield, causing it to shatter. Because of this, the state is recommending a $5,000 surety bond, $4,000 for the simple battery family violence, and $1,000 for the criminal trespass and damage to property family violence. 1 day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, stay away from the incident location, and no further contact with Jennifer Mitchell. Our details of business facts, as well as because his history in that we're really concerned about our safety, because in the 2019 case, which is still open in DeKalb County, is an aggravated assault family violence and battery family violence. It is not toward this victim, but towards a different victim. But even so, we noticed that still open case with violence against a family member, we still have special concerns about this same about Ms. Mitchell as well. And also, as Mitchell said, as we talked to her this morning, that they live together, they share one child. Ms. said had issues in the past, and she is still in the process of filing for a TPO, but has not yet completed yet. And also, for history, it does show that it does also FTAs in 2017, 2014, and 2022 as well. So because of these facts, we want to have a surety bond. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Segura. To clarify, one point, I think you said, I only have that there was 2 charges. Did you list the 3rd charge? I have simple battery family violence and criminal trespass family violence. Did you list something additional?
Oh, no, those 2 are the only ones.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that point. Thank you. All right, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Philemon Dollar is 33 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He is the proud father of 5 children. He shares a 10-month-old son with the complaining witness. He also has a 10-year-old son for which he pays child support. He also participates in the care of the complaining witness's children, Miss Jennifer Mitchell. They are his stepchildren. All 5 children are in the home, and he provides support for them. Mr. Dollar completed high school. He has an associate's degree, college credits towards an associate's degree in business management. He also completed technical training, and he is a licensed electrician. However, Your Honor, Mr. Dollar informs me that he is employed at Casio Audio. The job is on hold for him. He just started this job 1 month ago. He's on probation at this job because of the 90-day period. So he desperately wants to be released so that he can return to his job and continue providing for his family. Mr. Dollar denies the allegations. And while I acknowledge my client's arrest history, he is presumed innocent in that case as well as the current case. I did speak to the complaining witness, Ms. Jennifer Mitchell. She is on the call today. She informed me that she wants to continue having contact, as does my client. I would bring to the court's attention that this incident occurred back in April. The parties have resumed relations. Again, my client is presumed innocent. I would ask the court to order no violent contact, as we are opposed to any stayaways and no contact orders. And if your honor determines that he gets a stay away, I would ask for a one-time law enforcement escort and third-party transfer. Regarding bond, I am requesting a signature bond. However, if your honor determines that he is ineligible, then I would ask for a total bond of no more than $1,500. That would be $1,000 for the simple battery, family violence, and $500 for the criminal trespass. Thank you, your honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gant. At this time, I'll hear from Ms. Mitchell. Ms. Mitchell, would you like to make a statement at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what would you like to tell the court at this time?
Okay, I don't know who the gentleman was from the start that spoke, but I never said that Mr. Dollar had a violent past with me. That man ain't never touched me. He didn't touch me. He threw keys at a wall, and I guess they hit me. He didn't throw the keys at me. He threw the keys. They hit me though. He broke a door. He since then fixed the door.
Your honor, I apologize for interrupting. I would ask that the complaining witness, Ms. Mitchell, limit her testimony to whether or not she wants to have contact with Mr. Dollar.
I'm gonna allow the testimony. Go ahead, Ms. Mitchell.
I do want to have contact with him. We live together. I don't know why it's a criminal trespassing, because he lives here, he gets mail here, he pays the rent here, his cars are registered here. I don't understand the criminal trespassing charge. I would like to still have contact. I would like for him to still be around his son, my kids. Everything he said about being there for me and my kids is the absolute truth. Yeah. As for the violent contact in the past, there hasn't been any violent contact in the past with me.
All right, thank you. Is there anything further from either party?
I want to ask a question of Ms. Mitchell, if that's okay.
Very limited, but Ms. Gant will also have the opportunity to cross if I permit that, Ms. Segura. All right.
Yes. Ms. Mitchell, are
Yes,
you still in the process of getting a TPO against the defendant?
No, sir.
That'll be all.
All right, Ms. Gant, any questions?
Nothing from the defense, your honor. Thank you.
All right, any further closing remarks?
Nothing from the defense, other than we would again ask for that no violent contact order. Thank you.
All right, in light of the information before me, I'm going to accept the state's recommendation in its entirety. The defendant is going to receive a $4,000 surety bond for count 1, $1,000 for count 2. He is to have no further contact with the victim at this time. It can be revisited at the state all-purpose calendar. And he is to stay away from the incident location and to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Again, contact can be revisited at the state all-purpose calendar on June the 21st of 2022.
And your honor, if I may, the one-time law enforcement escort and third-party transfer?
He can return with one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items, and he can arrange third-party contact and third-party transfer of the children at this time.
Thank you, your honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Young.
How much is that?
Ms. Mitchell, if you have questions, please contact Ms. Gant. Ms. Gant will explain to you why I ruled the way that I did, okay?
How much was that?
Okay.
It's
Yeah, tell me.
total 5,000.
5,000, thank you.
You're done, Mr. You're done, Mr. Bowman. Position 1, Bohannon.
All right, Mr. Bohannon, your case number is 22 CR 0035928, in which you're charged with 1 count of loitering and prowling and 1 count of obstructing a law enforcement officer with the offense date of June the 7th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional right?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
63 total. Let me see how I can sum this up.
Most interested in anything violent, any FTA's probation violations. If that helps, does that help?
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
All right. Last arrest was 2019 parole violation. He has a parole hold now, but he got burglary first degree, possession of tools for the commission of a crime. That's 13 SC 118179. That was 10 years to serve, 10 years probation, so that's still active. So 2012 probation violation. Judge, he got parole hold. He got a lot.
Yeah, I think I have a clear picture. Thank you. We'll go straight to Mr. Segura.
This occurred on June the 7th, 2022 at the incident location of 410 Lyndhurst Drive, Southwest Atlanta. Also responded to a prowler call at the incident location, and the call indicated that there was someone in the back of a vacant home breaking some glass. And upon arrival, police heard there was some breaking glass behind that vacant home. And at that point, the police saw the defendant. They gave him a verbal command to place his hands behind his back, but the defendant tried to run away. Shortly afterwards, the defendant was apprehended. And the warrant also noted there were some other broken items that came from inside the home that was broken outside of it. The state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, $2,000 for the loiter, $1,000 for obstruction of a law enforcement officer, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay away from the 410 Lyndhurst Drive, Southwest Atlanta. Allegations are based on these facts, as well as special concerns that there's something else going on because he was breaking some items, breaking glass behind the house. And also it was 3 a.m. in the morning, so it was dark. And based on his history, we have concerns that he could be doing something else, as he does have that criminal trespass, guilty conviction 2019, that probation violation 2019 for burglary, and a burglary arrest in 2013. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Adrian Bohannon is 51 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. Your Honor, he does have family here, but he informs me that he does not have anyone to assist with bond. We are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Bohannon completed high school. He also has college credits. He studied accounting. However, Your Honor, Mr. Bohannon is unemployed and has been so for at least 1 year. Today, we are denying the allegations, Your Honor. He is presumed innocent. I acknowledge my client's history. However, given the nature of the charges and his other legal matter, I am requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then the lowest bond possible, as he does not have the means to pay anything toward bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, Mr. Bohannon is going to receive a $2,000 surety bond, $1,000 for count 1 and $1,000 for count 2, and he must stay away from the address on Lyndhurst Drive and have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
You're done.
Is there- Best of luck to you, sir. Is there an announcement for position 2?
Position 2, Mr. Coles.
Oh, he's present. Okay.
Have a seat, Bohannon.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Coles. Your case number is 22 CR 003593Y, in which you're charged with one count of committing certain prohibited acts at a rail station and criminal trespass with the offense date of June the 7th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard?
38 total. Last arrest was last month for trespass on Marta. Has an open shoplifting, 22 CP 206685. October 2021, they gave him 12 months probation for shoplifting out of Sandy Springs. March 2022, trespass, Marta. February 2022, shoplifting. October 2021, that's the shoplifting conviction I was telling you about. October 2021, Brookhaven trespass. August 2021, City of Decatur shoplifting. July 2021, 2 counts of shoplifting out of Atlanta. 2019, shoplifting, criminal trespass. He had a criminal trespass and theft by taking conviction out of Lithonia from 2019. 2019, probation violation, theft by taking. That was May of 2019. He had a March 2019 probation, theft by taking. You want more?
No, that's good. Thank you. Mrs. Segura?
This occurred on June the 7th, 2022, at Marta located at Doherty, Alabama Street, Southwest Atlanta. And this incident also while patrolling the incident location and also boarded the East Point train at Marta. They noticed that the defendant was soliciting chocolates, trying to sell them to the passengers. At that point, the defendant was moved from the train and he was arrested when they found out that he had an active Marta suspension, which was issued on May the 11th of 2022, became effective on May the 20th, and ends this month at the 21st. And because of this, the state is recommending a $2,000 surety bond, $500 for the certain acts prohibited, and $1,500 for the criminal trespass, non-alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay away from all molestations. As pretrial has noted, he recently got a criminal trespass conviction last month, which had a condition of staying away from Malta. And also, he also had a certain acts and criminal trespass conviction, 22 C on 00664Y, which also had a stay away condition for Malta, which was on February 10th, 2022. As long as it's open cases, we're really concerned if he's risky offending because it's clearly shown that he does have a habit of criminal trespassing based on his recent record of in 2021, as also FTAs in 2018. Thank you.
What was he alleged to have been selling, Mrs. Segura? You said chocolate?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch that breakdown of the numbers again. You were requesting, what was the breakdown again?
2,000 surety, 500 for the certain acts on the station prohibited, and 1,500.
15 for the criminal trespass. Okay, thank you. I just needed that clarity. Thank you, Ms. Secure. Ms. Gantz?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Cameron Coles is 23 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He has family here. However, again, Your Honor, he does not have anyone to help him pay bond. We are unopposed to the stay away. If there is in fact the MARTA suspension in place, Your Honor, Mr. Coles has been disabled for at least 7 years. Therefore, he does not have the means. We are denying the allegations today, and I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Coles' behalf. And if Your Honor determines that he's ineligible, then the lowest bond possible, as again, he does not have the means to pay anything toward bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Coles will receive a split bond. It'll be a $2,000 total bond. It's going to be $1,000 signature through the jail for the selling of the chocolates, the prohibited acts, and $1,000 surety for the criminal trespass. He must stay away from MARTA, consistent with his suspension, and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons consistent with this bond.
All right.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything further from either party?
Judge, quick question. You said for the criminal trespass, it's $1,000 good bond,
Yes,
and then the first charge was 1,000 SOB through the jail?
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're completed here in courtroom 2, Judge.
All right, courtroom 2 can be excused. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. You do the same. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Grace, will you review the calendar for me, please?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry to interrupt. I would like to ask the court to reconsider position 9 if it's not too late.
Oh, it is too late because I don't remember it. Okay, what was?
This was a criminal trespass and disorderly conduct.
All right, we've excused courtroom 2. All right, what are you asking me to do, Ms. Salary?
Yes, you gave a
Still
signature
here,
bond.
Judge,
Okay, let's.
but
Are
the
you?
position
Go
9
ahead.
Potter is no longer here. He's back in the housing pod.
Okay, let's hear what Ms. Salary is requesting.
Yes, Your Honor. It's the criminal trespass where you gave a $2,000 signature bond. The reason why I'm asking for a reconsideration is because he just pled guilty to criminal trespass at the same incident location. So essentially, he's given a signature bond when he's violated the conditions of his probation. And we, in that plea, we agreed to go non-reporting. So that's why we're asking for the surety bond, just because he's pled guilty to a case similar to this, and he's here again today.
Okay, we would have to almost do this whole case again, Ms. Salary. This is the second time you've done this to me. You have to refresh me on this entire case. This was the gentleman who
he trespassed.
It's gone. It's completely gone. I'm sorry. What was it that he had done? Disorderly conduct.
We're
Go ahead. What else did he do?
We're only asking you to consider the signature bond for the criminal trespass.
Right, but I would have to, in order for me to make to reconsider my decision, I needed to, you would have to tell me exactly what I did and what the facts of this case were. If we can do this a little bit closer to when this takes place, I would greatly appreciate it. And I don't have a problem with going back and rethinking about things, but I
do, Your Honor.
Talked about it, it's gone. Go ahead, Ms. Kim.
I object. This has been already ruled. Your Honor has already ruled, and
I understand. I have ruled, but let's let Ms. Ari speak. Go ahead. What were the facts of this case?
Yes, briefly, the facts were that the defendant was standing outside of the Chevron gas station. He was threatening customers and harassing them. And again, he had previously pled guilty to criminal trespass and agreed to stay away from this location. So he was on probation. He's still on probation. We allowed for it to go non-reporting, and he came back 6 months later. So
did I give him a split bond? What did I give him?
Yes, it was.
So he still has to bond out on the disorderly conduct, correct?
Correct, but it was only a $500 surety bond.
Okay, well,
that's a lot for him, Your Honor.
The ruling will stand. Ms. Ari, I'm not unreasonable. I'm really not. But I'm gonna ask in the future, please don't do this to me. Please do this to me closer to the thing, to ask us to revisit at the conclusion of the calendar and to really ask me to really remember what I've done is not reasonable. And this is the second time you've done this to me.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's causing some muscles and things in my brain to fire that have not fired in a long time, and it's the end of the day. At this time, I do understand your position, but I do have some things that I have thought about and some rationales for why I ruled as I did. All right?
Understood, Your Honor.
All right.
Ms. Sari, can you please give me the no further contact person's name again?
Yes, first name is MRIDHA.
MRIDAH.
DHA.
All right, Ms. Grace, will you review the calendar for me?
Yes, and then the last name?
DULU.
DULU. Okay, thank you. I'm ready, Judge. Position number 1 is a $2,000 good bond. Position number 2 is a $2,000 split bond. Position number 3 is a $5,000 good bond. Position number 4 is a $2,500 good bond. Position number 5 is a $1,000 good bond. Position number 6 is a $2,000 good bond. Position number 7 is a $2,500 good bond. Position number 8 is a $3,000 split bond. Position number 9 is a $2,500 split bond. Position number 10 was non-pros, and I do have the order judge. Position number 11 is a $2,000 good bond. Position number 12 is a $6,000 pretrial bond.
The reset date, Ms. Grace.
Reset date is 6/21/22.
Yep, that's it. That's all I have.
Any other comments, changes, corrections, or questions? All right, hearing none, we will be in recess until tomorrow at 2 p.m., at which time I believe Judge Law will be presiding. Everyone take